Alright, quick update for Dogecoin. So I'm going to make this fairly quick simply because not too much has happened since the last video. So we outlined a few videos ago, as long as we stay above the 618 here at 14, then we would remain bullish for Dogecoin. So you can see that since then we've come down, back tested basically exactly the 618 and had a slight relief rally since then. Now what I want to point out to you in this video is that we are still putting in lower highs. If we do zoom out, you can see that we have a structure like this where we're having highs, lower highs, and emming down. You can see if we zoom out here as well, you can see that this wick up here was higher than this wick here, and we emmed out. And if we zoom out and use this M over here, or we use this high, you could still see that we could very potentially do something like this, which is a high here and a high here before rolling over. Now if we do come over to the previous high, what I want to point out is that we could still have a pump and do something like this. So that would be something like, if we put in just over a 15% move, this would technically still be a lower high from here. Now Dogecoin has been, kind of going sideways, dumping down and then having pumps to lower highs, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this again. Now in the last video we outlined this scenario. Now this would be the scenario that I would need to see personally before I start accumulating Dogecoin again. So if we do break above this previous high here at 1736, if we do go above it, back test it as support, I do believe that we would be off to the races at that point. But until we do something like that, then I personally just don't really see us breaking out, simply because if we just look at the volume, there's not really any volume coming in for this coin. I mean, it's the same with a lot of these other dog coins. You can see like Shiba as well. They basically haven't had the same volume that they've had since the 27th of October. And if we come to Dogecoin, you can see Dogecoin does have spikes of volume every now and then, but they're normally fake out spikes. So if we go back to the original trend where Dogecoin was pumping to the all-time high, you can see we had at least volume up to here. So if we come to where we are now, if we compare the volume from back here on the all-time high, or if we compare the volumes on this pump and this pump, we're really not seeing any volume coming in. So even in these pumps here, these were obviously fake outs before we went back down. You can still see that we are below this 200-day moving average here, and obviously this trend line is really just a rough draft, because we only have I mean, on this we would have broken out, but this literally has 2 touch points, so I'm really not a fan of using trend lines on this coin at the moment. I do believe the best thing to do would just be to look at the fibs. Now if we zoomed out and take a macro fib, you can see from the high up here to the low, yeah, I mean the 236 is all the way up here at 2.6, which is approximately another 75% pump. So it is very likely that we do something like this. If we do come up above this level, like I said, on 17.3, then I would personally just be buying like a small bag of it for a short-term trade, because I do believe we could at least pump up to the 236 here before maybe rolling over. We would need to talk about, if we were able to get above it, then we could start talking about being more macro bullish. But right now, as there's not much going on, we can only really look at the micro term. So while we are below this 200-day, we are obviously bearish. But yeah, if we do kind of break above here, then we could at least have a 25% pump to the 200-day. Even if we did something like this, we could pull profits at 25% gain, or additionally, we could have a slightly more significant pump of 53%, which is 53% from the breakout, but from where we are now is 77%. So yeah, all in all, until we do see some more volume coming in, then I personally just won't be accumulating any Doge. But all in all, if we are looking at the micro term, we are still above the 618. So as long as we stay above the 618 here at 14, then we are in line for bullish continuation. The second that we lose 14, then obviously I believe that we're at least going to be back testing these lows, probably rolling over and making new lows. So yeah, once again, as long as we don't lose the 618, we are bullish in the micro term, and also in the micro term until we do break above 1732. In my opinion, there's just not really much to get out of bed for, so I'd like to see some volume coming in for this coin, or at least a breakout above this previous high here. So yeah, once again, none of this is financial advice, it is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.